What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we are going to be going over the free 7-day login champion in Deliana, who is HP based from the High Elves faction. And I must say that her aesthetics are amazing. Like, look at this. The art team always never fail to do a great job on their champions. But back to the video, what are we going to be doing today? Basically, we're going to showcase the potential of places where I like to use her, talk about artifacts you may want to build on your Deliana, and just overall have a fun time with it. I actually have maxed up this champion completely, so you can get a kind of view of where she is good at once she's fully booked, and if you should book her, which I don't think if you are free to play or early game. I don't think you need the books to make her shine, but we'll talk about that now. So on the Heart Steal on the A1, she can attack all enemies and has a 50% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. Now this can be booked up to a 60% chance, but if you're just trying to optimize your books, they're really hard to get. This is completely fine without it, if I'm honest. Now leech allows you to heal off 18% of the damage inflicted against the targets that's under the leech debuffs. So it's really nice to have it on the A1. Especially against Hydra boss, dungeon waves, or progression in the Doom Tower. Really nice debuff to put out. Now with the Withering Scorn, it can attack one enemy and has a 100% chance once booked of applying a 50% decreased resistance for 2 turns. If the target is under any block buffs, debuffs can also apply a debuff spread effect, taking the decreased resistance and placing it on all enemies. Now decreased resistance is really strong. It's not on a big bunch of champions in Raid, but it definitely has its use, especially if you're struggling to get the accuracy stats on your champions whilst trying to optimize damage when you're early to mid game, or even if you're just facing the Hydra boss and you want to kind of optimize your sustainability and your accuracy is finding it hard to get to those thresholds. It's not kind of super useful, but definitely can have its place. Now on Know Your Place, can attack all enemies and has a 75% chance of placing a block buffs debuff on each enemy for 2 turns, and it can be booked up to a 100% chance again. Now if you was to book up any of these skills, it would be this one if you get good RNG on your books, but the only downside here is it's on a 4-turn cooldown, which makes it really hard to cycle this throughout the waves. But if you're going fast enough and you got increased speed buffs, increased turn meter, then yes, it could be really useful. And I actually do use it on some of the Doom Tower waves on the hard stage. Then on the second part here, can heal all allies by 5% of their max HP for each block buff debuff placed by this skill. This is really nice, but of course I would prefer it to be based on her HP, because you'll see a lot more value coming from that. Because if you've got a bunch of champions with not a lot of HP, healing by their max HP is not the most optimal skill, but it is what it is. It helps you survive. Now fills this champion's turn meter by 10% for each block buffs debuff attempted, blocked, or resisted by the enemy team. Now the way that I kind of read this is, if you are placing the block buffs, you're not going to be filling the turn meter. But once you start getting blocked or resisted from weak hits, etc., then you get the turn meter filled to hopefully turn meter booster and get back to this Know Your Place a lot more efficiently. So it's a nice little synergy here, but the full value just comes from the first part here in the block buffs. Not a huge place in the game where you're facing dungeons, but once you start going into the Doom Tower, you'll start to see the value a lot more, or even the faction wars. Now with the Magnificent passive, which I think is her strongest part of her kit, and I really do like this for mid-game players, can increase this champion's accuracy by 2 for every 1000 HP this champion has. This is just insane, because if you just see here, I have got, let's just say 60,000 HP. If you do this times 60, that is a lot of accuracy on your champion. So if you are struggling to reach like 200 for dungeons, just by having high HP, you can now optimize those stats and get those debuffs out. Then she also has a strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns every time this champion's HP drops below 50%, which will speak about how to proc this a lot more efficiently. But it's also a really nice passive where Strengthen is a really strong damage mitigation. And once you've got that leech debuff up, you're able to cycle through, get your HP back up, and be able to survive some more hits. She then has a HP aura in all battles by 33%, which is substantial. And all battles I'm always a fan of. Now let's go over the artifacts and how I personally think you should build her. Not to say it's the only ways, but just my ways. Now, number one is going to be the CC sets. Whether that be Taunting and Stun in my kind of top two spots. And basically what they do is lock out 18% chance of placing a stun debuff every single time that she places a hit. Now, when you start to think about all of her abilities being AoE, apart from this A2 here, which is a single target, you'll find yourself in a rhythm of always placing the stuns. Now, artifacts like this, you do not need accuracy to place these debuffs. And that's one thing I don't think a lot of people know. So stun is really nice. It locks out the targets for one turn. And you can coincide it with a mastery in Fearsome Presence that gives you an extra 5% chance to make that a 23%. If she's going fast and you're always proccing her abilities, she's going to be able to consistently lock out the enemy team. Now, the second one that I was talking about is Taunting. And basically what that one does, if we can find it. Taunting, where are you? There we go. Alright, so this ability here has a 30% chance to place a provoke debuff. Now, if you think about her passive, where she's placing Strengthen on all allies when she drops below 50%, if she's under a Taunting set, it allows the enemy team to hit her with A1 abilities more consistently and be able to get below that 50% quicker so you can get those Strengthens out. And that's one way to get full use of the passive. If you don't want to go those routes, you could just go for a full HP build and just survive the hits. You can even go for speed, consistently cycling her abilities. The possibilities are really endless. Maybe even a Guardian set for more protection to absorb some damage and also make use of that passive because she will be absorbing more of the hits. So this one right here. So always you can think about it. But for me personally, stun is my personal favorite. But it's not to say that it is the best option. Now let's just go over the stats on my artifacts. So we've just gone for like crit rate and crit damage. We've gone for speed and crit rate, speed and accuracy. We've done crit damage on the gauntlets because this is how I like to use mine. But if you cannot get substats with crit rate or you don't have crit rate gauntlets, just go HP percent here and it'll be completely fine. She is not a nuker, guys, right? This is just a way that I like to use mine. Preferably HP percent here. Make her HP get higher. Make full use of those passives to get more accuracy. And she'll be good to go. We have got HP percent on the chest plate. And speed on the boots. Then we have got accuracy, some speed. Crit damage with some accuracy. And HP on the ring. Overall stats, I have tried not to make her super fast because I know that a bunch of you guys can't get like 250 speed, right? So I tried to tone it down to 200. 63,000 HP, 2,000 attack, 2,700 defense, close to 100% crit rate, 224% crit damage, and 300 accuracy because I do use it on some specific stuff like secret rooms in the hard Doom Tower. Masteries, we have gone down to the War Master tree. Let me just move myself out of the way. There we go. War Master there at the bottom. And then we have gone the support tree, heading down to Cycle of Magic, trying to proc more block buffs. We've got Rapid Response, Shield Breaker, and Arcane Celerity, and the Evil Eye. And then we have got Master Hexer to potentially extend Leech, etc. So that is my Deliana, and let's go into a few areas of the game and see where she can shine. Let's get into it. Alright then, so we are now in stage 21 of the Faction Wars Crypts, and she's really strong for this wave 2 and also against the boss. Because we managed to lock out that man-eater there who could potentially put the unkillable buff up. We've also got a leech on the other allies to make sure that our other champions are not mitigated and we can heal more efficiently. We've also got the block buffs, so if anybody does happen to get a buff on themselves, she's like nope. And it kind of speeds up the process and gets you through this a lot more quickly. And there's another stun on that man-eater. Once we clear him up, we'll get through to the boss as well. And there we go, sniping through with that ability. Now, hopefully we can lock off the side minions here as well. And the HP aura, I forgot to mention, is strong here. And there's that stun on the left-hand side. And leech on everybody. We got the block debuffs up from Tutorial Rhyme Height, so we're able to kind of stop that stuff. And we also got the block buffs on everybody else. So I'll let you guys watch the rest of this run, and we'll come back to you towards the end. So there we have it, guys. We just did stage 21 in 2 minutes 34 seconds, and she put out a lot of heals there in 232,000 because of the consistent leech debuff, and she's just a strong support tank overall, especially with that HP aura. So let's head into a dragon run. Alright then, so we are now in stage 20 of the Dragon's Lair, and we're just going to do a little fun team like this, and hopefully we can chunk through this. The main thing is just so you guys see the stuns and stuff on the waves, because that's where the main focus is for me, being a CC champion alongside the crazy kit that she does have for support. So hopefully you can place a bunch of them here. Come on, and boom. Did we get any out? We didn't, unfortunately, so far. And there's one on that apothecary, which is pretty nice. And boom. Coming through with the next wave. It'll decrease attack on, decrease speed, and any stuns. We managed to get one off here on that Horden. Can we get some more out? Come on. There's another one on that. Oh, we got a double dip there on Apoth and Tyrell. Like, traditionally, I would run her at 250 speed for something like the Doom Tower. We can see here she's playing a really strong role in the waves. Now, she can do a great job in just keeping your champions alive with the leech debuff, and that decreased resistance on the boss is pretty huge in my opinion, because if you're an early game player and you're struggling to get that accuracy, you'll start to see a huge value in that. So hopefully have we got the leech up? We do, and that's allowing our champions to heal back up. So if you pay real close attention there, 18% of the damage inflicted, where if you've got stuff like War Master, it starts to scale a lot better. There we go. So 1 minute 24 seconds, and she pumped out 1 million damage. And also that HP aura really bringing the extra stats to our champions here. Now you can kind of carry this into all of the dungeons, like Ice Golem. I've actually seen a real fun video from Cold Brew Gaming if you guys want to check him out. And he actually put Deliana as a stun target in a stun set, allowing all of the champions to attack her as the kind of tank. And then the rest of your champions like Armigers are using turn meter effects to keep down the boss. And you're consistently locking them out with that stun debuff. So that's really fun as well. And pretty much here, she's the strong affinity for stage 20 of the Fire Knight. Well, the same affinity. So if you're trying to chunk through that, very similar to the Dragon's Lair. So let's just go into the arena, have a bit of fun there. I wouldn't say she's the best arena champion, but let's just have a bit of fun with it, right? Alright then, so we're just going to try a fun little team like this. Let's just see how it goes. I wouldn't say she's the best champion in the game for arena, but while we're here, we might as well showcase it, right? Just get a little cleanse on. Get provoke out. There we go. And let's just do a block of buffs with the A3. So there we go. Now, if that Valkyrie tried to do the big shield, these champions that's under block buffs will not get anything on it. So let's just try and prove that right now. It's alright. We get a little stuff going on here. We want that Valkyrie to come through. So she's about to place it, hopefully. Let's just do the decreased resistance as well. There we go. And there we go. None of these champions got the shield or the counter attack. So if you're looking for a strong block buffs champion, she could definitely have some use for sure. I can see it. All right, let's just kill off this ninja. Get out of here. We're talking about the new login champion. All right, we're under a provoke, but because our A1 is an AoE, we're able with that stun set to lock out some more champions, which is pretty nice, right? All right, let's just come through here, do a little cleanse. Let's just keep things under control. Let's get, yeah, come on, Vizix, come back in. And another stun. All right, we managed to stun that Torment actually before he died, if you guys seen that. Let's just click auto now, why not? I just kind of wanted to showcase the kit of how you could potentially use it. And there's another stun from the stun set. There we go, the block buffs on those champions, so that shield could not be placed. Come on, guys, you got this. Deliana, sit them down. Keep that Terminator down with our Vizix. And boom. So, pretty nice, I guess. 125,000 damage there. Pretty sweet. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to, like, the Doom Tower once, and then we're going to the Hydra boss. Alright then, so this is just like a random run on the Doom Tower. And I just want you guys to see how well she could perform, right? We got Jing 1 in here as well. And boom, there's the block buffs and the stuns. And if you start to find yourself in a rhythm of multiple CC champions, like a Chagor or a Vizix or anything like that, you start to be able to control these waves and just kill them slowly over time, instead of that quick, fast nuke approach if you don't have someone like a Seer. And it really is optimal. Like, you could bring in burn champions like Tyrant or a Kof the Sid. And then we got like decreased attack, decreased accuracy, we got the leeches, the stuns. It really does come out to be a really nice team if you build something like this. So we're not going to do the whole run here. I just kind of wanted you guys to see the value of it in the Doom Tower. I want to see one more stun. Jing 1, let's go. We got some screen time today, but she didn't place it. It's all good. So let's go into the Hydra boss. Alright then, so on this team here, we actually put Deliana in the lead for the HP aura to be able to survive. We are on only the hard stage right now. And then we got Inquisitor Shamil to boost her turn meter to be able to cycle her a 4-turn cooldown block buffs more efficiently, right? Because every single time that you hit the head of Torment, able to boost the lead position and make her take more turns. Also, she is applying like AoEs on every single ability on that A1, and she's placing the leeches as well with that decreased resistance. So overall, really strong support champion here, who also, if she goes to below 50%, gets that strengthen out. We've also got an Ugo in here just to help her out if she doesn't manage to cycle those abilities on time. And then we've got a Sigmund the High Shield to apply shields and the strengthen buff. So you'll be able to see here, we can place those block buffs abilities. So people that's getting a buff stolen from like the Head of Mischief is not be able to get it on himself, right? And that's really nice. Now we're going to come through with a few birds and stuff. There we go. There we go. If we had a buff on there, he wouldn't have been able to steal it. There's a little provoke there because now we can provoke that head on the left. Then we're just going to come through with the A1 ability, applying some leech, so champions are able to heal back up pretty much every single time that they're hitting a head, right? As you see right there. So we're just going to come through here. And now we're going to showcase just the A1s again. And let's just go through to a bit where it's a bit more spicy. So right here, we are now on turn count 30. We're doing pretty well. We've got the leech debuffs up and the block buffs, keeping everything consistent. Now, even when he tries to transfer all buffs to all heads, not going to be able to do it, right? This is kind of a run that I prepped for you guys in preparation for this on the last rotation. We didn't actually finish it, I don't think, but it's more just to showcase the skills. And you see there, the turn meter is being boosted every single turn that we're hitting the Head of Torment. And because it's an AoE, she's always hitting Head of Torment any as well, so works out pretty nice. And let's just go through a bit more here. We got to about 7 million or so before I cut it off, mainly just to showcase the skills for you guys who want to use her. So yeah, that is going to be all for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on this champion, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.